Hi, hello friends. Welcome back to Night Court Narrative. I am Elvish. I hope you are doing very, very well. Today is a very unfortunate and very sad episode. I'm just gonna start by saying that. I am finally discussing one of my most heavy anticipated reads of this year. I have been wanting to read this series since summer of last year. I know we were waiting on maybe a book or two to be released and whatever. But, you know, in the podcast, we already have a schedule of what is to be released. So we had a full schedule. We couldn't do it. Whatever. I finally got around to doing it. Okay, cool. I did read this book in its entirety about a month ago. And I think I DNF'd it maybe 5 chapters to the end, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm reading. And I was like, you know what? I was going through a ton of stress in my life, and I was going through a lot of change at work, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm the issue, so I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna reread it. It's finally been a month. I am finally back. I finally reread it. Here are my thoughts, and yeah. So for starters, I am talking about Hooked. This is a dark romance retelling of Peter Pan. I would not have guessed that if I didn't already know that. Quite literally, the only things inside the book that give it Peter Pan-esque. The father's name is Peter. His daughter's name is Wendy, which is kind of weird. I could have sworn, this shows my Peter Pan knowledge. I could have sworn Peter and Wendy were best friends, aka like, didn't they fall in love at some point? I don't know. Either way, Peter and Wendy, father, daughter, and then the male main character, the antagonist, I guess, he is named Hook. And the father owns an airline, Never Airland, I believe is what it's called. And don't get me wrong, I'm so sad. I tried with this book so hard, and I actually DNF'd it a lot sooner this time. As I mentioned, my first read, I DNF'd it at like the end, maybe 5 chapters to the end. Today, I DNF'd it around chapter 10, and I cannot. And I'm so sorry. I'm so heartbroken. Like, I want to cry. I'm so heartbroken. This book, now if you love this book, by all means, if you love this book, I'm not hating, I'm not coming at you, but I don't know, I clearly missed something, and I want to try and read the next book to see maybe if the first book just didn't do it. And I do have the entire series, so I might try and read the other book and see. But I felt like a lot of nothing happened in this book. I literally feel like I spent my entire time reading a bunch of nothing. There was no plot, no development, no chemistry between the characters. I mean, there was nothing. I mean, there was slight banter, but it wasn't even memorable enough for me to be able to tell you guys about it. But like, for example, at the very beginning of the book, Wendy and her friend, they end up going, I hope her name is Wendy. Is her fucking name Wendy? Who the fuck is the main character? Like, this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at. Like, I don't know. What is her name? Okay, her name is Wendy. Okay, I was right. Okay. Sorry, I second guessed myself. Okay. So Wendy and her friend, they work at a cafe. They ended up being like, you know what? Come out with us. Let's go drink. So she's like, what the fuck ever? Like, I'm too young, but let's go anyway. They end up getting inside. Her friend is really interested in James, aka Hook, and really wants to see him again for the chance of possibly meeting him. I guess fortunately for Wendy, but unfortunately for her friend, she has to end up going to the bathroom and runs into James, aka Hook, and that's where the book basically begins. Now, this is where I say I read a lot of nothing, because obviously Hook and Peter are enemies in the book. We get that. Obviously, I mean, that's common knowledge. Even if you haven't read the book, that's common knowledge because of Peter Pan. So they're enemies. I understand that. But the moment, and I mean the moment that Hook walks away, it's not even like half a chapter later. He walks away down the hall, turns into the room, and then immediately starts talking about his genitals and how he wants her. And I'm just like, okay. I'm completely aware it's a dark romance. I get that. And I'm completely aware that it's like a forbidden romance. I get that. I understand. And I understand like what those two entail, but the execution for me personally was so backwards. It was so fucking backwards. I'm like, okay, you don't even, I mean, he obviously knows her because he's obsessed with her dad. Weird, but okay, he's obsessed with her dad, so he obviously knows her. But then, like, that soon though? I understand. Don't get me wrong. Like, I understand, sure, whatever, but I just feel like nothing fucking happened. And then he ends up calling, I think her name was Moira. He ends up calling the barista, or like they work in a bar. He ends up calling like the server or whatever the fuck she is, and ends up going to town on her. And she spends the entire book being the jealous, bad bitch, wannabe. I don't fucking know. So she's the antagonist pretty much, like as far as Wendy goes. She always tries to get under her skin, always ends up lying, all that. But then of course James, aka Hook, is like, you know, I would never do anything like that. I've never gone against your wishes. Mind you, they've only been together for like a day at this point, and he's already like, I would never cheat on you, blah. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? And like, again, don't get me wrong, I'm so sorry if you love this book. I went and I thought I was fucking crazy, because I went and I read all of the reviews, and everyone is raving this book up like it is nothing. They are praising all of the development, all of the chemistry, all of the spice. The spice to me was so mediocre. I feel so bad. The spice was so mediocre. I actually had to skip a few of it. It was very laugh-worthy. It was like, I don't know. I would have much rather, I don't know. I don't want to say it and be rude, but I would have much rather had like lackluster, normal, like spice in a normal romance rather than like a dark romance, because like nothing was super dark about this book. And I don't know. There's really not much else to say about it. I don't see it. The side characters were obnoxious. They were kind of annoying. He has this whole fake, I want to be popular, but I'm going to be the mean girl because I feel like it makes me relevant, even though it doesn't attitude. The main character is a weird fucking pushover. She just does anything that anyone ever says, which never changes, so there's no development from her. She's not a very complex character. None of the characters in this book is super complex. There's very little to no world building as far as the bar goes, the dad goes. Very little of any of that going on. We do get a little sadness with, I guess, Hook's mentor, non-official stepdad-ish, which kind of made me feel a little bit weird, but because I felt bad. I did feel very sad for him. And then a massive plot twist at the end, which wasn't a fucking, like, I was like, okay. Like, I feel like with how big the plot twist at the end was, I feel like I would have been, like, floored completely, like, on my ass, just unable to just live anymore. And I was just as blank faced as possible, like, okay. So I don't know. Clearly, I missed something. If I should continue the series, let me know. I really want to, There's a few books that I really want to. I don't know if they're all standalones or if they interconnect. Hopefully not, but if they're all standalones, there's a few that I definitely want to read for sure, But I don't know. Just let me know. Let me know your thoughts. If you really loved this book, let me know why. If you absolutely hated this book, let me know why. But yeah, I'm so sorry. I think because I DNF'd it and I really didn't enjoy a single second, I think I gave this book a 1-star rating. I don't like giving 1 stars, but I just couldn't do it. I read it twice, and both times it made me feel a little less inside, so I'm so sorry. But with that being said, let me know if I should read the others. But yeah, I don't know. I hope y'all have a very wonderful day, and hopefully I come back with better news next video. Okay, bye.